You've been stuck in that loop again, haven't you? That problem that you can't seem to solve no matter how many times you circle it. Your thoughts chase each other like a dog chasing after its tail. It's exhausting, it's frustrating, and ultimately it gets you nowhere. But did you know that the reason why you're stuck is because the reason why you're stuck isn't because you're not smart enough or you're not creative enough. It's because you're accessing only a fraction of your mental resources. When NASA faced the impossible Apollo 13 crisis, they assembled a diverse team of specialists, right? They had engineers, physicists, systems experts, each bringing a unique perspective to solve the unsolvable problem. While Carl Jung discovered that we have 8 different ways of processing information, 4 ways of learning about the world, 4 ways of making decisions, making judgments on the world, we can actually take that framework and personify them and have 8 different distinct advisors, each with their own unique perspective and approach to solving problems. But the problem is most of us only ever consult with 1 or 2 of them, leaving the rest to gather dust in the forgotten corners of our mind. This limited thinking is costing you. It's costing all of us. Each time you take the same approach to solving a problem, you're leaving these breakthrough solutions on the table. The truly innovative thinkers throughout history, from Leonardo da Vinci to Steve Jobs, understood something critical. Dimensional thinking beats linear thinking every time. So you've probably heard, maybe, of Edward de Bono's 6 thinking hats or Disney's 3-role creative process. These frameworks were revolutionary at the time because they forced people to sit in different perspectives. So mastering this framework will transform how you approach problems. It will help you make better decisions and unlock creative solutions that would otherwise remain hidden. So remember that this isn't just another thinking tool. It's access to your complete mental arsenal, the RPG questing party of your mind, the fellowship of your mind, if you will. So let's first understand how the thinking frameworks you might already know actually work. So I mentioned Edward de Bono's 6 thinking hats. Maybe you've heard of this before. He assigns different modes of thinking to colored hats. There's the red hat, which is emotions and intuition, the black hat, which is critical judgment, the white hat, facts and information, the yellow hat, optimism and benefits, the green hat, creativity and alternatives, and the blue hat, which is process control. And Disney's method involves 3 distinct roles. There's the dreamer, which is about imagining without limits. There's the realist, which is about planning, practical implementation. And then there's the critic, which is about identifying flaws to strengthen the idea, to find the holes in the argument or the concept. These frameworks work because they allow you to focus on different perspectives. They force you out of a single perspective and into other ones. But Carl Jung's cognitive functions, we can take it and we can go a bit deeper because they represent the actual structures of human cognition. So let me introduce you to the 8 cognitive functions and their names that I've attached to them, that you can use them as ideational springboards and problem-solving partners. So first you have the adept, introverted thinking. This is your logical analyst who seeks precision and clarity. Then you have the commander, extroverted thinking. This is your efficiency expert who creates systems and structure. Then you have the mystic, introverted intuition, your visionary who sees patterns and future implications. Then the explorer, extroverted intuition, your creative connector who generates possibilities. Then you have the soul, introverted feeling, your authentic voice who aligns with your personal values. You also have the envoy, extroverted feeling. This is your harmonizer who considers group dynamics. Then you have the guardian, introverted sensing, your detail-oriented historian who maintains tradition. And last but not least, you have the adventurer, extroverted sensing. This is your in-the-moment experiencer who takes action. So let's see how these advisors approach a common problem. Maybe you think, I want to be more productive. If you've struggled with productivity before, you might have already tried consulting just one or two of these advisors repeatedly, which explains why you're still stuck. Okay, so just listen to these different advisors and think about how they would respond. And I'll give you some perspectives as well too. So I want to be more productive. The adept, introverted thinking, might analyze your definition of productivity. Like, what exactly do you mean by productive? Let's break this down, this concept, and understand it more logically. The commander, extroverted thinking, might jump into systems, right? You need to get a proper time management system. Let's implement the Pomodoro technique and track your results. You've probably heard that advice before. The mystic, introverted intuition, is looking for deeper patterns. What's the underlying reason why you feel unproductive? And maybe, perhaps, there's a hidden purpose that you're not fulfilling. The explorer, extroverted intuition, generates different alternatives. Have you ever considered that, traditional productivity might not be your goal? What about creating a completely different approach that leverages your natural rhythms? Maybe you have different buckets of interests that you're filling up with water every time. The soul, introverted feeling, questions alignment. Does this productivity pursuit actually matter to you? Are you trying to meet someone else's standards? The envoy, extroverted feeling, considers social dimensions. How would being more productive impact your relationships? Positively, negatively? Maybe you could get an accountability partner to help you. The guardian, introverted sensing, reviews past experiences. So maybe it's thinking like, when have you been productive in the past? Let's replicate those specific conditions and implement them. The adventurer, extroverted sensing, suggests immediate action. Start by clearing your physical workspace right now and notice how that changes your energy. These aren't just different opinions. They're fundamentally different ways of processing reality. Each advisor accesses different information that others cannot see. Now, you might be thinking like, okay, this sounds great, but I already have a thinking or feeling preference. I'm a thinker in the MBTI T type or a feeler F type. I just can't switch between these modes at will. And you're right to an extent. We all have different cognitive preferences. We have a specific personality type. And some of these advisors feel like trusted friends, while others feel like distant acquaintances or even rivals or demons. But what's really important to understand is that all 8 advisors exist within you. Whether you regularly consult them or not, they exist. And the challenge is developing the mental flexibility to access them deliberately, intentionally. This takes practice. It's a skill that you develop. When you're facing a problem, consciously cycle through a few different perspectives, maybe even all 8, depending on the problem. What would the adept say about this? What would the commander do? How would they approach it? What insights would the mystic offer? And just continue from there. You can roll a die like I do. I roll an 8-sided die and I just kind of go through there. So at first it will feel mechanical. It might even feel awkward. Some advisors will give you conflicting advice, and that's okay. It's the point. Real dimensional thinking embraces these different tensions rather than trying to eliminate them. The most difficult part is giving equal weight or more weight to the advisors that you typically ignore. If you naturally think like the commander, maybe you're a TJ in the MBTI types, then the soul, the FP, introverted feeling aspect, might seem irrelevant, it might seem flawed or wrong, but that dismissal is precisely why you keep getting stuck in circular thinking. So you remember that frustrating loop that I was talking about at the beginning, that sense of approaching problems with the same limited toolkit and wondering why it's not working? Well, now you understand why. You weren't consulting this full council of advisors. You were likely only talking to one of them, only listening to one of them. You're like a king or a queen who only ever listens to one minister, one advisor, while ignoring the wisdom of the complete court. When you integrate all 8 of these cognitive functions, your problems transform. They have to, because you're seeing them in a different way. And what once seemed as this insurmountable wall or problem becomes a structure with different doors and windows and pathways. You can go around it, you can go under it, you can go over it, break through it, turn around, go a different direction. You get different perspectives, which allows you to take different actions. Your thinking becomes not just broader, but fundamentally different. These 8 different advisors, they've always been with you. They just haven't been listened to as often. They're not external, they're not some other person's advice. They are your own parts. And what's been missing is your willingness to hear them all, to listen to these different parts of yourself. Listen to the wisdom that they have. So the challenge for you from this video is simple but powerful. Just take one problem that you're currently facing and deliberately cycle through all 8 advisors. Write down their distinct perspectives, even, especially those that feel foreign to you, the ones that are different from your usual thinking. Don't rush to figure it out, to reconcile contradictions. Just sit with attention, listen to their perspectives, notice the wisdom that they have, notice how it creates a more complete picture of the situation. When you do that and you have more perspectives, you can take different actions. And likely those actions are going to be better than the ones that you were currently taking, because if you're stuck, if you're not succeeding, then you need to take different actions. You can't succeed by doing the same actions. You have to do something different. And these perspectives help you find those different actions that you can take. And I want you to share your experience in the comments. Let me know which advisor gave you the most surprising insights. Was it one that you typically ignored or not? And if you want a deep dive into understanding your cognitive functions and how they shape your personality type, understanding these different characters, then check out my cognitive functions guide in the description below. Remember, the most powerful resource for solving problems isn't just out there somewhere. It's within you. You have the understanding. It's this full council of advisors already living inside your brain, waiting to be consulted.